guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers. It's Sunday, it's match day, a big match day as well. West Ham versus Leicester. We're here to have a little chat, waste a bit of your time, waste a bit of our time, count down to the match, basically. How you going, mate? It's been a eventful week at West Ham, mate.
Yeah, you could say that, couldn't you, mate?
Both massive cat lovers. People have, they've seen my video and thank you for all the comments and all the views for that video. 3,000 views for that video. No one sort of heard your opinion, mate. I know it's a week now. There is still stuff to talk about it. Let's just. What was your initial reaction?
So it was that night when the video started being circulated. I see it. The Sun article, and just absolute disgust. Absolute disgust. Like you say, mate, I'm a huge animal lover, massive animal lover. I've got 2 cats. I've always had cats. Love them to bits. Them cats are like my kids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just absolute disgust. Any animal cruelty, I've got no time for. And I was just so angry, and it was like just absolute scum. But anyone that can do that to an animal, a little cat, you know what I mean? And it's doing it when there's getting a kid involved and everyone's laughing and joking about it.
I really didn't like the kid bit.
Yeah, getting the kid involved to hold the cat while he whacks it, and then everyone's laughing and joking about it, and then the idiocy to film it and post it onto social media. Just absolute disgust, mate. Absolute disgust. My initial straight away was, I don't ever want to see him in a West Ham shirt again. He's done. That's it. I never want to see him play for us again. I don't care how much he costs. I don't care about it. Just absolute disgust. I hope he gets prosecuted. I would love him to go into training and to someone to kick him across the pitch the way he did to that cat. That was my initial, just absolute disgust, outrage, real anger, mate. Real anger.
Apparently Lawrence says there, wasn't it? He was still playing at Chelsea when it happened. Yeah, apparently so. Apparently that video is quite old, actually. But makes no excuse.
It's irrelevant. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't matter how old the video is. It doesn't.
It could be Declan Rice doing it, mate. It could be Declan Rice that have booted that cat.
And I feel exactly the same way.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I would feel exactly the same way. It wouldn't matter what player it was. In my opinion, absolute scum. Absolute scum. It's interesting because now time has passed. A week has gone on.
When he did play, so let's do it step by step. So when you see him in the team Tuesday night, weren't it? Mate, I was shocked. I'll be honest with you, I was shocked. And then, I thought Moyes' interview was very telling. He sort of said, well, I've got to pick a team to win. The club have sort of said, I can play what I want. What did you make of that when that happened?
I was very disappointed in Moyes. Very disappointed. And I understand what he's saying. For me, it was the wrong move. Yes, we won the game. Nothing is to say we still wouldn't have won that game with Diop playing. I know people were going to go on me about that. Oh, if Diop played, we lost 5-0.
Mitchell said that if this was a separate person in football, absolute despicable bear. But as a Liverpool fan, if it was Van Dijk, that would be torn.
Yeah, that's something I'd like to talk about, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll get to that. Right. So, he played, and I think it was the wrong decision. I think it was a bad decision to play him. I couldn't believe it. When the team news came out, I was shocked. It's, first of all, it shows that, right, okay, this has happened. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can do what you want, and you're still going to play. Second, it just opened up. When it first happened, it was about Kurt Zouma. When Moyes played him, it became about West Ham. And the media shifted.
The way I'm looking at it now, obviously Moyes has come out again and said, he will play the Leicester game today, probably. Do you think that, he's had the punishment of the 250 grand, which is the maximum the club can fine him, RSPCA investigate, that actually the punishment now is for the rest of his career will get booed at every single football stadium that he goes to?
Yeah. And that's more like I say, well, I was going to say, moving on. Before, I just want to finish back. So, Moyes played him and...
Man of the match, arguably.
Yeah, again, and I saw people saying that, he was our best player. So what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me.
No, it doesn't excuse the fact.
Yes, he had a good game. No one's debating whether he's a good player or not. Of course he is. We know he's a good player.
He's our best player, mate. He's our third best player.
He's our best defender. By all means, he's our highest paid player. We know he's a good player. It's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from what he did. I think it was a mistake. I'm not naive enough. As much as I would have loved to have seen it, I'm not naive enough to think that West Ham United, especially David Sullivan, are going to bin off their most
that's never going to happen.
Their most expensive defender, £30 million player. I'm not naive enough to think that's going to happen. I still think it was a mistake to play him. I think he should have sat him out. He shouldn't have played him that game. Could have come back and played him. The only argument I've seen that kind of makes sense is the longer we left him out, the more of a media circus it'd be when he did.
And the harder it is to put him back in.
Yeah, and the more of a circus it would be.
By playing him straight away, I know it's very much like a sort of Boris Johnson tactic, like I'll carry on, and everything will be forgotten, sort of thing. But I actually think, in hindsight, it was a good idea to play him. I don't think it was a good idea on the day, but I think in hindsight now days have passed, and he'll play today.
It's got it out of the way.
Yes,
it's like ripping a plaster off
at every stadium. That's his punishment for the rest of his career.
And like I say, moving on now, a week from it. Probably like everyone else, and this is human nature. It's what happens, as time goes on, you kind of forget things and stuff. And then I saw an article yesterday saying about Moyes had done his interview, saying that yes, he's going to continue to play him. And the article came up again of him with the video straight again, mate. Anger, disgust. I said to you, mate, and I said it before, and I stand by this. I will never support him in a West Ham shirt. Never. That man will never be applauded by me, ever. If I ever saw him in real life, I would tell him I very nearly the worst possible swear word you could say there. And then I remembered I was on YouTube. But yeah, genuinely, if I ever saw the man, I don't care who he is, don't care how big he is, I would tell him to his face what I think of him. I will never, ever support him in a West Ham shirt. But what do? He's going to play for the team. You have to support the team. And it got me thinking as well, right? And I did see a comment. Let me see if I can see it there.
You can put them up as well, mate.
The one that you
put them up. I think you could put them up, mate. I think you've got access.
This comment from Mitchell.
Yeah.
Is it a case of separating the person from the footballer? So I was thinking about that during the week, and about
if this was Yarmolenko, what would we be sitting here saying?
Oh, mate, it'd be you'd never see him again. I think that's the thing, right? If it was Yarmolenko, if it was a lesser player, right? If it weren't someone who's so important, he wouldn't have played. You would never see him again. He probably would have been binned off. But this comment I find really interesting because it got me thinking about all the stuff that's happened with music, right? And artists, and can you separate the music from the artist and the things they've done? And it sort of got me thinking about that, like the whole Michael Jackson thing. I don't believe Michael Jackson ever fiddled kids. That's another conversation. But like R. Kelly, absolute scumbag of a person by all accounts.
I had this conversation in work, but R. Kelly's catalogue of songs,
but his music
is like our history, mate. Our years when we used to work abroad and stuff like that.
I still listen to R. Kelly's music. I still enjoy it. I still sing along to it. Does that make me a massive hypocrite? Am I a massive hypocrite for saying, okay, well, I can separate that? Can I separate it?
And why is it in those moments? I know we've gone off a bit of a tangent with the music, but it's a fair point. Why is it when the R. Kelly stuff happened, it was straight away in my head, it's okay, he's guilty. But with Michael Jackson, because of the iconness and, the love of him as a child, it was always, you're always going the other way. For me, I'm always going the way of, I'm trying to find a way out for him.
Well, I think again, we are massively on a tangent now, but I think the thing with the difference between Michael Jackson and R. Kelly was there was literal video evidence of him doing it. Literal video evidence, whereas
allegedly
there was video evidence, but there wasn't a Michael Jackson. But yeah, that's completely different. But I don't know, it's a really interesting thing. But for me, to sort of sum up, I'm disgusted with the man. I am, like I say, if I ever saw him, I would tell him what I think of him. I'll never support him in a West Ham shirt. I will never clap him. I'll never applaud him. I don't care if he scores a winning goal in Europa League final. If he does, I'll still celebrate because I'll be celebrating the team.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
But I will never support him in a West Ham shirt. Saying that, he's going to play. Moyes is going to play him. He's going to be part of the team. I will
Is
continue
there
to
any
support
way
the team.
for you then? So you're saying you'd never support him. If you see him, I believe there should be a massive PR thing for him. Go to some cat charities. I don't know, donate for. Oh, donate some wages and stuff. But would that not be sort of a way back for you? If he actually showed, some real compassion.
It's a start. And I think the only redeeming thing, the only thing that goes in his defense, the only kind of thing that I think goes for him is the fact that they did post the video. The fact that they posted the video shows that they obviously didn't understand the severity of what they were doing. They obviously didn't understand. He obviously didn't understand that what he was doing would be massively condemned. So maybe it is a case of education,
Yeah.
So
again, I don't know how true this is, but apparently in France, again, this is all alleged. I've not fully researched it. That cats are seen as sort of like rats, sort of thing. That they're not as loved as a British home.
It's difficult, mate. It's difficult. And like I say, maybe it is a case of education. Let's say as well, absolute positives. Yes, he's been fined by the club, but for me, the most important thing, the cats have been taken away. I'm sure he'll probably be banned from keeping pets in future. That's obviously a great thing. The first thing's obviously the safety of the animals. And yeah, maybe it does. It comes down to a case of education, and it'd be a start. If you saw him taking those steps and working with animal charities and that kind of thing, it's a start. It's a start. Can I say I would then be able to support him? I don't know. Like, genuinely, mate, I was so like, animal cruelty is one of them things that disgusts me so much. Like, it really does.
Yeah, there's no need for it, mate. There's no need for it.
Especially animals like that. I've got a couple of cats. I love them, but they're defenseless animals. They can't do anything about it.
They don't choose to be in your home either, do they? Ideally, they would like to be out in the wild and just be an animal.
Yeah, they're completely defenseless. If he, chuck him in, take him to London Zoo, chuck him in with the lions and the tigers, and let him slap one of them about. See what happens then.
Obviously, a little bit later in the week, mate, Antonio come out with some comments, saying about how, there's been players that have committed racist acts and, and not anything that's happened in terms of sponsorships pulling out and stuff like that. And I suppose you could look at the Mason Greenwood situation as well. I'm not 100%, like I say, I don't know Man United inside out. I've not been made aware of any sponsors being pulled out of Manchester United. Anyway, I've not seen it like on Sky Sports News or anything like that. Maybe from the player himself. Yeah. But I'm talking about the club.
No, absolutely. Yeah, Greenwood's obviously had all these sponsors dropped. But no, it's a good point, mate. It's a good point. But again, this comes down to what I said earlier on. So when it first happened, it was about Kurt Zouma. By Moyes playing him, it became about West Ham. It looked like West Ham are condoning what he did. And I think that's the difference there. Man United, obviously, as soon as the stuff came out of Greenwood, he was suspended instantly. Yeah, he was suspended instantly. He's done. He's gone. He's obviously, and rightfully so, his career's over. He should be banged up. Obviously pending trial, blah, 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 due process. But Man United straight away were like, right, he's done. He's suspended. So it will make sense for the sponsors to pull from Man United as a club because it was about the player. And like I say, that's the difference. When it first happened, it was about Kurt Zouma, but by West Ham playing him, especially the next day, it became about the club. It became about West Ham. So I can understand it. Do you know what I mean? I can understand it.
And we'll go to the comments now. The fact that Moyes played him makes me feel like it's not that big a deal, nothing to be angry about. Glad he got fined out. Yeah, obviously, yeah. And I don't think it's an isolated incident. I really don't. It was wrong for what Zouma had done, but in some kind of way, they did put it on social media, or the cat still could be taking more kickings. That's a valid point as well, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any. Obviously, he came out and said it was an isolated incident.
I don't think so.
For a second.
I don't think so, mate. I don't think so at all. If Diop had a blinder in the cup, would he have played against Watford? Potentially. I don't think people like him anymore. Do people get sacked from work for animal cruelty? I assume, mate, if I put a video of myself booting a cat and my school found out about it, I think I'd be, definitely pulled in the office. I don't know. Could you be sacked for that?
Probably.
So it doesn't reflect well on your school.
Yeah,
Or
it'll
company,
be exactly. It'll be that. It'll be like your representation of the company.
Yeah.
Same thing, mate. If I posted a video of me booting a cat around the house, I don't imagine I'd be in my job very long.
No.
But footballers and normal people were obviously different rules, apparently.
I read that Zouma could face jail in France, even if living abroad. Any cruelty is wrong. I agree.
Absolutely, yeah.
JP says, Luke, are you going to Freddie Tash? No, do you know what it is? It's half term. It's half term this week, so I can't bother. So I'll probably grow a full on George Michael beard this week. Very good point, Paul. Right, so the comments dried up a little bit. That's good. So we'll move on. Enough of the Zouma stuff for now, mate, because it is going to still be floating around. On the game in general, then the Watford game, a terrible game of football. Oh, it was an awful game of football. I don't know what it is, mate. I don't know how we can look so tired still. We look like the most tired team in the Premier League.
It's because we haven't got a squad. We haven't got depth. We can't rotate players. We can't rest players. Although it is a bit concerning, even after a couple of times now we played when we've had a bit of a break, and we still, like you say, mate, we look fatigued. We look tired. I think it's a mental thing. I think the team are mentally fatigued again because there's no cover, because we can't rest players. I think that's
Do you think
part
teams
of it.
know how to play against us now as well?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Two deep line centre backs, as I say all the time.
Yeah, and it's obvious. It's obvious. We don't have a plan B. We don't have another way of playing. It really winds me up that our entire tactics. It doesn't matter what's happening in the game. It doesn't matter who we're playing against or what our team is. We always do the same thing, right? Fullback overlap on the left, try and get across in the box. That's it. We never play through the middle. Never, ever play through the middle.
Yeah.
It's very predictable. Yeah.
I see that Duncan's put a comment now. We'll move on to that, Duncan, in a minute. What about Ben Rama, mate? I know that you and obviously Peter, our pal, are starting to get onto him a little bit. I thought he was a little bit unlucky, to be honest, with his chances. Listen, he's not playing to the standard he was playing at the beginning of the season, and he's becoming slightly frustrating. But yeah, I don't know. I personally wouldn't start him today. I would like to see Fornells play today.
I think
Lanzini will be back in today as well because, like you said, he totally changed the game. He did.
I think the way we're playing and the way that we need to play, and to keep in possession of the ball. Lanzini and Fornells,
the best at that.
Yeah, Lanzini and Fornells are both very good at that. Ben Rama's not. He's just such a frustrating player, Ben Rama. He really is.
Do you think some of it though is he's playing out of position on the left hand side, and maybe should be get some games at Cam?
I don't know. I don't know if he'd be any better. I think the problem with Ben Rama is his decision making. Shocking. He's football
he can't
intelligence.
Cross the ball when he's playing on the wing.
Yeah,
I've never seen him put a good cross in.
I think his football intelligence is really poor. His decision making is awful, and I think it's one of them things. It compounds. Do you know what I mean? We'll probably talk about this in a little bit as well. But I don't know if you saw the Declan Rice interview he did on Sky the other day with Gary Neville. But one of the things he said was it was always in him, hammered into him by his old man. Right, make sure your first tackle is a good one. Make sure your first touch is a good one, and that carries you through the game.
Yeah,
Ben Rama, I think, is the opposite. I think he makes the wrong decision and something goes a bit wrong. And then because of that, he's trying too hard to make himself better. And it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, mate. I think, if he starts the game well, he can have an absolute worldie. We've seen it in the Europa League games, when he's scoring lovely goals and all that. Yeah, I think he might just need a little break from the team, just, again, that sort of your place. He's not fully assured, mate. And there are players there treading on your toes. Moving on. So Lanzini, mate, when he did come on, I know you're a huge fan, and listen, I'm so glad that it pleases me nothing more to see this man playing so well. He did change the game, mate. He did. There's no doubt about it.
He's so good. Like you say, he's keeping hold of the ball. He's amazing. I don't think that. Well, there's not a better player in our squad at taking the ball under pressure
I'll say he's a poor man's David Silva, mate. David Silva was the best at that, at tight spaces. He's got that ability. Obviously not on the same level as David Silva. But it's very, very similar in the technique and the tightness and confidence to do that.
I think that's it. And like you say all the time, mate, about the likes of Declan Rice, who he trusts and
shares the ball with.
Yeah, he knows that he can give the ball to Lanzini, even if he's under pressure, he's not going to lose it. And that's such an important thing in football. It really is. Delighted for him. Obviously, he's one of my favourite players and fantastic to see him performing. And I definitely think he should start today. I think he deserves it. I think it was harsh dropping him, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree, mate. And then obviously the goal did come, mate, from the man that is on fire, mate. Absolutely on fire. And, Mitch says it there. Will he get his England cap soon? We'll discuss that in a minute. Lucky goal. There's no denying it's a lucky goal. He was very unlucky not to score a second as well. Mate, how good is this geezer? If you're talking about the left-hand side being ineffective, the right-hand side is, arguably one of the best right-hand sides in the league, apart from maybe your Ben Rahmas. Your Salahs.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. He is absolutely on fire. It's so weird though. I've said this before, and obviously he's come on massively this season, and he's at the moment he's performing incredibly well. But it's so weird because if you ask me to pick out a reason why he's so good, I don't know if I could. If you said to me, is Ben Rama replaceable? I would say he probably is quite easily replaceable, but that's because I don't know what it is that makes him so good. What is it that makes him so good? Is it his determination?
Yeah, mate, I think the work rate is just relentless. It's absolutely relentless. And he just... I don't think he ever takes a dip in confidence either. I just think...
That's a good point,
he's the sort of player that just... he'll keep trying. If he messes up 10 times, the 11th time he'll get it right. Yeah, I love him, mate. I love him. Listen, I was slating him a little bit at the beginning of the season, and I'll admit that I was saying he's becoming increasingly frustrating. But mate, he's second best player in the team. He is.
There's no doubt about it. Absolutely on fire. And it's like I say, it's a strange one because again, the talks about him maybe going to Liverpool if he left in the summer. If we've got good money for him, I do think he's a player that we could replace. Because of that, I don't know. Again, he's maybe not because he is such an all-round player.
Did you see the stat, mate? Only Mo Salah is ahead of him in terms of goal involvements in the league this year. Which you're talking massive players: De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes.
Second on that list not too long ago was Mikel Antonio.
Yeah, but again, it says something though. Come on, to be in that.
Of course it does. No, it does. I'm not knocking it. Listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Bowen at all. I'm really not. Yeah. I just don't. There's nothing. That's why I'm asking the question. I'm not trying to knock him, but
I don't know, mate.
There's anything.
I'm going to be honest with you. I probably would take. If someone offered 65 million on the table, I think you would have to seriously consider that.
I would take it because I don't think he has an outstanding attribute that will be hard to replace. If Moyes found
the mental mentality,
that's what I mean. If Moyes found that hard-working mentality, he's not the quickest player in the world. He's not a tricky player. He doesn't really take players. He does take players on, but not with a trick. He's not a step-over player. He's finishing. Yes, he's scoring goals, but let's be realistic. His finishing's not amazing.
No, he hits a goalkeeper quite a lot. He does it.
He's not like next-level finisher. He doesn't have an outstanding attribute. Again, please don't get on.
No, we're not knocking him.
I'm not digging him out. I'm not knocking him. He's 100% our second best player at the minute. He's performing incredibly. He deserves the England call up. In my opinion, he should have been in for Player of the Month. Or he wasn't. He should have
won it.
Been up there. I'm not digging him out. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying I don't think he's got an outstanding attribute. Hopefully, we'll see what the
comments say in a minute.
Yeah, we'll see. I could be completely wrong.
Attribute, and you're not allowed to use mentality or hard work. Right? You're not allowed to use those two. Right, let's carry on. Is it tiredness or the team's just finding us out? I think it's a bit of both, mate. Every team, like I say, knows to play two deep centre backs. I think Antonio looks completely off. Like that man needs a goal. Desperately needs a goal. He just don't look like he's got that acceleration anymore. He gets the ball and it's like, I don't know, it looks like he's running through mud a little bit. Antonio looks isolated at times. Benrahma's slightly off for now, so yeah, we all love Pablo on this channel. If West Ham still look tired, even though West Ham played last Tuesday and Leicester played 48 hours later, then there really is a problem. I agree, mate. We'll talk a little bit more about Leicester in a minute. I'd like to see Benrahma shoot more often. He might play better with a little bit more freedom in the hole. I don't know whether Moyes would trust him. That's the only thing. I think Moyes might think if he does a trick and lose it in the middle of the park, we could be in big, big trouble. I think that's the problem. Luck has gone against us at most points this season. So to have a lucky goal was a blessing. I agree. Anyone watching a Super Bowl? I'll tell you what, I'll be watching a halftime show. Halftime show looks insane. Eminem, Definitely. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige looks insane.
I can't wait. It's about 1 o'clock, I think, the halftime show. Yeah. It's on BBC One. I don't know anything at all about American football. I see a couple of comments about who they think is going to win. I don't know anything about American football. To be honest
with you, I teach it in school sort of every sort of before Christmas, but I'm no expert at all. He works really hard. Benny's decision making is poor, and he seems to be stuck between Championship / Prem type player with his ability. I agree, JP.
Yeah, I think there's an argument for that. You know, you see people say about teams all the time. Teams like Fulham, like too good for the Championship, not good enough for the Premier League. No, I don't know if that's harsh on Benrahma. But yeah, his decision making is poor. You know, his football intelligence isn't.
You can see some frustration sometimes, you know, from Declan Rice and people like that. And, you know, you hear Moyes shouting at him all the time. Anyone who's interested on a live watch along, obviously JP does his live watch along. So go check him out, guys. 4:30 today, isn't it? His work rate is phenomenal. He's like a throwback in my eyes. I've always said he reminds me of Craig Bellamy. He's that sort of player, that doggy, hard-working player. We haven't had a great season since New Year, but we are still fourth. The Watford game was a shocker, but we still won a good team. Just going to stop it there for a second.
I just want to say, just because I just said this, not that one. It moved on me. BBC Two. It starts on BBC Two. I think the build-up's on BBC Two, and then it switches over to BBC One, just so for the Super Bowl. So
for the Super Bowl people, just checking it. Right, yeah. So yeah, that's a good sort of point to go on to now, mate. You know, we are still fourth, mate. We are still fourth. Man United look awful. They look awful at the minute. Arsenal are the team that sort of scare me the most, I have to say. I think Tottenham defensively could have a few wobbles. You know, yes, their front line is incredible. Yeah, mate, it's, you know, like in 3 or 4 games' time, if we're still there or still... You know, all we can do is win our games. What do you make of it at the minute?
Yeah, I don't think fourth is a realistic possibility now. I really don't. But like you say, mate, all we can do is win the games that we've got coming up. I think it's
Arsenal got some really, really tough games coming up.
You know, the teams with games in hand. Once they've played their games in hand, once everyone's caught up and everyone's even, if we're still there and thereabouts, then, you know, then I'd say you can start looking and saying it might be a possibility. But I think it's too much.
I just think we're going to run out of steam.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's too much for us. We don't have the squad depth to do it.
I'm just going to get some of the fixtures up now so we can sort of have a look at it in terms of Arsenal. Arsenal, like I say, are the team that seem to be in the most form that could hurt us. Let's just have a look. Would you, whilst I'm setting this up, mate, what about Man United? What do you think of them? Do you sort of fear them, or do you think they could have a little change in form? But they look awful. They do look awful.
They still beat us all the time.
Yeah.
That to me, Man United have been the most frustrating games for us when we've played them because they don't look anything special at all.
Mate. And then we end up losing them both of them in the last minute. You know, a missed penalty.
So frustrating.
An offside goal. So if you look at Arsenal, so obviously Brentford is, you know, a bit of a thingy one next week. They've got a bit of a rest. Wolves look like a really good, rejuvenated side. But then after that, mate, you're like Watford. Then they've got Leicester. Then they've got Villa. And then I think they go on a really tough run. No, actually, it wasn't them then. It might be Tottenham, actually, that have got the tough run. Let me just quickly get that up. Yeah, so Tottenham have got Wolves again. Like I say, tough game today. Then they got City. Then they got Burnley, Leeds, and I do believe after that you're talking about the Liverpools, Everton's, Chelsea, Man United, West Ham. So yeah, we've all got to play hard games because we've got some hard games coming up as well. We've got some really tough fixtures coming up. I think it's just like I say, mate. We just got to win our own games and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean that's
what I'd be happy with Europa League again. I would. I'll be honest with you.
Sitting here right now, I'd be happy with Europa League again. Absolutely. Back to back European competition. Absolutely, I'll be absolutely over the moon with that. Maybe if I think if we'd have strengthened in January, we would have had a shot at pushing on for top 4.
Wow.
Oh, switch around. There we go.
No, I just want to see what that does.
never. I don't. Have we ever spin on this side of this?
No, I don't think
this
so.
Is, yeah, this is a bit different, isn't it? I don't like it. It's weird. That's better. I feel back to normal again. Yeah, I think if we'd have strengthened in January, we would have had a chance of pushing on. But I don't think we've got the depth to do it now. So yeah, absolutely, mate. Another Europa League spot would be incredible. Would be a fantastic season.
We have not been at the races since we beat Liverpool. We look shattered. Lanzini for me. To start, he made the difference Tuesday. We can see the transfer window could be that. You know what the coincidence of the Liverpool game is obviously Zouma went down in that game. And obviously the Chelsea game before that, we lost to Bonner as well. I think if Bonner and Zouma were at the back all the time. But I say that, we're not really conceding goals. We don't look that... We did look bad defensively with Diop and Dawson, but, whenever Zouma does play, he makes the other guy look better.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
6 would be a good finish. Just can't bear to finish 7th. I took the mickey so much out of my Spud brother-in-law that he wouldn't live it down if we were to get this year. Arsenal have no cup games to worry about. Yeah, I suppose that's one as well. I think we should be all the eggs should be in the Europa League basket anyway as well. For me, so I can't get words out. If we can say, if we can
fast show that was.
I know. Yeah. If we can win, say 3 games in a row, that will give us a good points gap from the teams below. I agree. Listen, it's best to have points on the board than it is to be chasing, because the closer they get to that point where they're going to take us, the pressure is on them. We've been in that position. How many times have we been in that position where it's, we can catch that team in 5th, we can get out of the relegation zone in the past, and because that pressure's there, it makes it a harder game.
No, absolutely.
If we get an Europa position, we may keep Rice. Big game today. If we win, we are serious contenders. Time is now. Paul, like it, head over heart.
Makes a change.
City ball on their number 87 last night. The man on your short is separate from the man in the street. I'll support Zouma in the team, but I wouldn't have anything to do with him socially. Authorities punish that individual. Right, happy you're still taking it. Okay. So Leicester today, mate. They've got a lot of injuries and they're in really bad form. I don't believe they've won this year, actually. Jamie Vardy's out. Soyuncu's out, Pereira's out. They've lost most of their back 4. Still got some fantastic players. Tillemans, Patson Daka, we was discussing him before we went live, actually. Maddison's a great player. Good goalkeeper in Kasper Schmeichel. I think this is the best time to play him, but this is the sort of game that we slip up on.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. I'm never confident when we play Leicester.
But arguably 2 of our best performances, mate. At the beginning of the season, we beat them 4-1 last season up there when Cornell scored that wonder goal.
Like I say, it's one of them games. I don't know. I'm just never confident when we play them, but we do seem to do quite well against them. Like you say, they're in a poor
Indeed,
spot.
Playing centre back at the moment for them as well.
Poor spot at the minute. A lot of players out. Like you say, mate, fantastic time to play them. Are they going to be saying the same about us? They're probably thinking, it's a great time to play West Ham.
Well, mate, I think if he loses this game, I think Brendan Rodgers may, get the chop, I think. I do. I think they'll be too far behind the pack. They're arguably meant to be the best of the rest, really, aren't they? In terms of finishing in the top 6. FA Cup winners, disaster, 4-1 loss against Nottingham Forest. That poor result in the week as well. This is a good time to play them. It really is.
No, absolutely. And it's looking at the form that they're in. This is a game where, if we want to cement our top 6 ambitions, it's a game we have to win. It is a game we have to win.
I agree, mate. Hammerette says, I'd rather Lanzini subbed on for Benny. He's big impact to bring on and changes the game. Benny needs to get back to form, and Lanzini's ankles are so precious. They certainly are, and he could be really important for the Europa League games, Lanzini, in terms of goals and stuff. I wanted Daka. Feel like he would have been so much better for us. Would have been a great signing for us. I think he could have been like a Sacco. I really do.
All things considered, it seems like we were close. Wasn't it when we played him? He had the chat with Moyes and the handshakes and all the rest of it. So I did read. I can't remember the details now, so I don't really want to say in case I'm wrong. But there was definitely meetings and everything went well. And I think he did want to come to West Ham, but the payments couldn't get agreed or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 100%. He would have been fantastic signing. He really would. He would have been brilliant for us.
We've been battering Leicester for fun recently, 3 wins in a row. Yeah, and really,
let's hope it continues, mate.
Some brilliant goals as well. Like the one that highlights for me recently is that Fornals goal where he brought it down with snow on it. If you remember that one, mate, where I think it was Cresswell that played that looping ball, and then Fornals sort of brought it down. Just absolute beautiful goal that was. Antonio needs to step up today. He's been poor recently. I agree, mate. I don't know. He just looks so tired. It's as if they're protecting him to stop him getting injured, but by doing that, they're sort of overplaying him a little bit, and then they're sort of saying to him, "You don't need to run as much." But then that's sort of I don't know, mate. I really don't. They do have pace up front that can hurt us. I don't know what's wrong with my speech today. I need to go doctors, I think. Really, how many players do you think we will bring in the summer?
2.
Yeah, 2 or 3, maybe 3.
We need 8, 9, 10.
9, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens, but these have got form. If ever there was a time to push on and try and bring some players in, it was in January. Didn't happen. I'll be surprised if we sign. Maybe we'll sign 2 on permanent. Maybe we'll get a couple of loans in. But I don't think.
But don't be shocked if we don't sign a striker again. Honestly,
I wouldn't be shocked.
Don't be shocked. I'm not saying you might have said a chat. I know you always all the time go, no, I don't want to. Auntie and Ndidi as centre back against them. Yeah, mate. Yeah, Ndidi's been playing centre back. Obviously, a big loss in midfield there. Tillemans is out of form apparently as well, because obviously his head's been turned. Linked to Manchester United and stuff. I hope we start strong, strong passing together and not losing possession. Final passing. I agree, mate. That's a conversation between you two. First game of the season, Antonio braced Fornals' goal, and who else was it? I don't know.
You're the statter, mate. You should know this.
I don't know. I'm going to say Big Tom. I'm going to say Big Tom. I'm going to say Big Tom. Everyone wants to cancel Zouma, but forgets that Marcus. Oh, yes, okay. Yes.
Well, the thing is, right. So just to address that, I don't want to. We if you did miss it, go back and watch the video when it's up on YouTube. We did spend a bit of time talking about the old Kurt Zouma thing, and that the likes of this player did this and this player did that, and it was fine. And obviously, Antonio's come out and said about the racism in football and that. Yeah, those are all good points, and those are things that aren't addressed properly that should be. Those are things that ain't punished enough that should be. But that doesn't mean it's like a kid's argument. This person got away with it. Well, that don't mean that everyone should. It means that he should be punished and they should all be punished more. Not, they didn't get punished enough, so he should be fine. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm trying to say there, but just because they did worse things doesn't take away what he did.
If something's wrong, something's wrong.
Yeah,
whether it's there's extremes of wrong and right.
Oh yeah, and I agree. Like I say, Antonio's come out and said about the whole racism thing, and players are still playing, and there's not that backlash, especially in the press. I agree. I agree. but that doesn't take away from what
he's done. Yeah, no, I agree, mate. Yeah. Afternoon. I hope we keep Daka quiet today. We can hurt them with the set pieces and direct play, and hope we start lively. And Mark English says what you said, mate.
Absolutely,
2 wrongs don't make a right. It's certainly true, mate. One more thing I just want to talk about, mate, is because we probably won't do a show till the Sunday. Is the Newcastle game, mate? This is a team that spent a hell of a lot of money. I'm actually really scared about that game on the 19th. I have to say, they're in a bit of form now. Their players look confident with, people like Kieran Trippier's come in, hasn't he, and looks really, really good. Maybe Callum Wilson will be back for this game as well. Do they fear you a bit, mate? I think they can get out of it now. And if you spend 100 million, you should get out of it.
Well, there you go. That's it, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, to be fair to them, they've spent big, and you want to talk about wrongs and all the rest of it. What about Newcastle and Saudi money, blah blah blah? But they've spent to get out of it. It looks like the players there, because that's obviously always the worry. Is you throw £100 million at it, but then the players don't gel. They seem to be gelling. That it seems like they've bought smart. They've bought the right players to get them out of it.
Yes, some good leaders.
Yeah, they've bought the right players to get them out of it. Like you say, like Trippier scored a fantastic goal.
Yeah, fantastic.
He's at the ground running, and they're a completely different team, a different proposition to what they were. Not that long ago.
The Leon guys like Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes is meant to be a top player, and then obviously St. Maxim, mate, as well. Arguably the most terrifying player when he's on it. I know you get frustrated with players like that.
Oh no. So St. Maximin, I like him. I like him because he has got some kind of end product.
Terrifying. He's terrifying.
Oh yeah, he's got the pace. He's got the skills.
Close control.
He is a brilliant player. I would love to see him at West Ham. I don't think I've slagged him off in the past. I don't know. He's not Traore.
You're more Traore.
Yeah. I can't stand Traore. Who plays it sits on the bench for Barcelona.
And got an assist. He got an assist on his debut, mate. Yeah.
Good luck to him.
It's an easier league. It's an easier league.
Good luck to him.
Guys, ask us anything. We're going to go for about another 5-10 minutes. Me and Paul will just go on a bit of tangent now. Obviously, next week, mate, Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. A fight that's probably 7 years too old now. 7 years too late. But and I said still a massive fight, and I can't wait to watch Gloves Are Off tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I said when it was first announced that I didn't really care. It's too late. It should have happened years ago. Whatever. Does anyone really want to see this? But as it's got closer and closer, I'm invested now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm invested now.
I think Amir Khan wins. I don't think Amir Khan would have won 6-7 years ago, but I do think Amir Khan wins now.
I think Khan outclasses him massively. If he's still got the speed,
too much now as well.
Yeah, I think if Khan's still got the speed, he outclasses him massively. But if Brook gets a lucky shot, we all know about Amir Khan's chin. So I don't know. That I think that makes it an interesting fight. That side of it, the fact that that if Khan gets caught, he's banging trouble. That makes it kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, mate, I agree. Some big fights coming up in the next few weeks. What about Eubank, mate? Did you watch the Eubank fight a couple of weeks ago?
I did, yeah. And it was.
And then he calls out Triple G and Canelo.
Please let him fight him. let him fight him. They will absolutely take his head off. It was, and he started. See, this is the thing. I mean, and I can't stand. I hate Chris Eubank Senior. Hate him. Can't stand him. Hated him growing up. Obviously, massive Nigel Benn family.
Yeah. West Ham fan Nigel as well.
Yeah, exactly. So hated Eubank back then and the cockiness, and then his son comes out and he has 3 really good rounds. Drops him 4 times in 3 rounds, 3 times in 4 rounds. He's got the fight easy, and then he just starts dancing around and coasting, and he did nothing for the rest of that fight. He didn't do anything. No, I can't. No. Let him genuinely. I want him to fight.
Try and do that against Canelo. Yeah.
Let him do that, and he will get destroyed.
Yeah, mate. Anyone who fights Canelo, as soon as they feel that power, mate, they go, "Yeah, no, I don't want no more of this." I think the only person who has actually stood there is Triple G with him. as full. Yeah, let's go for it. But yeah, no. As soon as they feel that power. It depends who we can keep and how many academy players can come through, etc. Obviously, that's a transfer one. Hammerette says, play for West Ham, but never make a first team appearance or be a star in the Championship.
That's a good question.
That is a very good question, yeah. I think I'd like to be a star in the Championship, actually.
Yeah,
I agree. Be a hero for another club.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, it's all of our dream to play for West Ham, but if you're never actually going to play for them,
it's
not the same, is it?
What about, here's one for you. Win the Championship as a West Ham player or win everything with Tottenham?
That's not even a decision. Obviously, win the Championship with West Ham. Obviously. That's not...
One appearance for West Ham or win everything with Tottenham.
I wouldn't play for Tottenham.
No, I know, exactly. Yeah.
I wouldn't play for Tottenham.
There's no scenario that would make me want to play for Tottenham Hotspur.
If you put that, even other, like, make it a European club. If you ask me about that and then, or win everything with, even then, win the Championship with West Ham, even all the time. I'd rather win the Championship with West Ham than win everything with like Barcelona or something.
Would you rather play for Chelsea or Man United? Or Tottenham?
Out of those three, I would choose Chelsea. I would never entertain Tottenham. I hate Man United. I can't stand Man United. I hate Man United. So yeah, I would pick Chelsea. You would probably pick Man United, I'm guessing.
I think I would. Yeah, I think I would. And just say for the prestige to say I've played for Man United, not because I like them, I hate them.
Mate, it's second biggest club in the world. Second biggest club in the world.
I think it's the prestige, isn't it? Have you boys ever tried planking? I read the next
twice a day, mate. Yeah.
I read the next bit and started laughing. My time was 1 minute and 2 seconds. God, bloody hell! Wow.
That was a quick finish, mate.
Yeah, I have tried planking. It is bloody hard. It is incredibly hard, mate. It's part of the boxing thing that I do with the kids in school. And, we have to do the, bring Sally up, bring Sally down, planks. It's really hard. Have you tried it, mate?
I could show off, mate. And yes, genuinely, yeah. 1 minute 22 wouldn't be a problem for me.
Yeah, it is.
I'm showing off a little bit, but yeah.
Oh, mate, it's one of the best exercises out there. Anything against your own body weight is, some of the best stuff you can do. Would you sell Benrahma in the summer? I'm not impressed with him.
Depends how much money you're talking.
Yeah.
Would you take your money back on him?
No, I think I'd want about 35.
Never happening.
Because he can score goals in the Premier League.
Never happening. You're never getting that amount of money for him. If you said to me, would you take your money back and then play Vlasic instead?
Yeah.
They're different players. Players. They offer different things. I don't.
Well, yeah, if you're saying, I know they're playing on the same side, Bowen and Rafinha, but, if you said, okay, we're selling Benrahma for 25 million, for example, and that is going towards the funds that are there for Rafinha, then mate, all day long. If we're talking dream scenarios, then yeah. And what about this then? So if we said that we're selling Bowen to Liverpool, for example, but then we got Rafinha, could you take that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, not knocking Bowen, but
is he an upgrade? Is Rafinha an upgrade on Bowen, or are they very similar?
I would see him as an upgrade. I would. Yeah. And again, I'm not knocking Bowen at all. Genuinely, I'm not knocking him at all. But that's what I mean when I say I feel like, unlike Declan Rice, I think Bowen, again, if you're talking selling Bowen for 60 odd million pound, I think he's very replaceable for that amount of money.
Yeah, with like with Dex, mate, like you say, mate, 100 million. We will not sign a player for 100 million. And I know we're biased, but it's true, mate. Declan Rice is the best CDM in the world. He is at the moment. At this current moment in time, he is the best CDM in the world, without a doubt. Would you rather? I love these questions. Would you rather have legs for arms or arms for legs? Legs for arms.
Arms for legs, because if you had 4 legs, you wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah, like a monkey. Like monkeys have hands on their feet, don't they? So I'd rather
that's the way to go. Yeah. 4 arms, you could still do stuff, but 4 legs, you'd be in banging trouble.
Still plank. Players that have West Ham all over them that you've seen. Sorry, I've got to read that again. I was laughing too much. Players that have West Ham all over them that you've seen live but never got here. Discounting the linked players.
Players you think could play like West Ham? That's a good question.
John Joe Shelby.
Oh, well, yeah.
John Joe Shelby's one. Callum Wilson's one, I think, that, would have suited West Ham, barring the injuries. Anyone else, mate?
I don't know. Not really off the top of my head. I don't know. It's a good question, though.
Yeah, to think about. I see that come up the other day on a podcast about players, West Ham players that didn't play for West Ham but had it all written over them. Sorry, that's a thingy. Thank you, Duncan. You're the best at doing that, mate. Hit the like button. Help Luke and Paul out, mate. It's not just my show.
You put the work in, mate.
Who was the first name on the back of your shirt? Julian. Come on, our generation. Who else? Come on, it's Julian.
For me, it was Joe Cole.
Oh well, yeah.
Joe Cole. It was the navy blue. Was it the away shirt or the third shirt? It was the third shirt.
Yeah, the navy blue FA Cup shirt.
Yeah, that shirt. Joe Cole. I've only ever had. Well, now I've had 4 West Ham players on the back.
Well, you got Yarmolenko, mate.
I've got So first off,
you're trying to get your money's worth.
That's exactly it. So Joe Cole was the first name on the back of my shirt. Then, well, if we're talking non-West Ham, but no, I had and then the number 8 and then Rooney on the back of a West Ham shirt. Second was Lanzini. Third was Yarmolenko, and again that was purely because I wanted a number 7 shirt, and it was free shirt printing from the club, so I wanted to get my money's worth. So I've got the longest name, so I got Yarmolenko. And then recently I've got this season's away shirt with 4 nails, P4 nails on the back. I collect football shirts. I've got over 100 shirts. I've actually got an Instagram page just for my West Ham shirts, Cooper's Kits. I've got quite a lot of Messi shirts. Messi's, in my opinion, the greatest player of all time. And Del Piero is my favourite player of all time. So I've got quite a few Del Piero shirts as well.
No, I had Julian, Johnny Artson when I was younger as well, and obviously Paolo. Who can not have a West Ham shirt with Paolo on the back? I did have. I wanted Payet, but at the time they'd run out of 2s, so I couldn't get the 27. Who else have I had? I don't think that's about it, really. Yeah, it's mainly Di Canio. Whenever I get it done, I have to. I did have Arnie, actually. I had Arnie as well. I had Arnie 7 as well, because Arnie, I loved Arnie when he was there. But yeah, regret. I
will get the 3rd shirt with Noble on the back as well this year. Yeah. I will get a 3rd shirt.
And we're hoping, guys. We're hoping. Me and Paul are hoping that we will be at that game, Man City. It looks good anyway. So if you do see us on the day when we're over there, it'd be great to meet some of you guys. I assume it'd be a great day. Just a great occasion in general. I probably will try and book the Monday off because I can imagine it being quite a special day. Guy on the right looks like TJ Dillashaw a bit. Who is that? Go on, mate. Get a picture up whilst I'm loading some comments up. Am I the guy on the right or are you the guy on the right? You're the one on the right, aren't you?
I'm on the right, yeah. UFC fighter. I don't know. He's had his nose smashed up, so that's a bit similar to mine, I suppose. Yeah. If I was ripped like that, I'd be happy enough, mate.
Yeah. I agree. A star in the Championship. Would you rather have a penalty shootout against Fabs or Areola? Fab has saved some penalties. I tell you, Fab has saved some good penalties. What about you, mate?
I'll probably want to go up against Fabs. I think smash one low near him, and I think he'd have trouble getting down.
Oh, what about this one? Would you have preferred Diagana or Benny?
Yeah,
I'd prefer Ebery Eze, mate. Actually,
well,
who Moyes actually wanted.
Yeah, I would have preferred us. I don't think selling Grady to bring Ben Rama in, I don't feel there was any real benefit there, to be honest. I think it was a bit stupid, especially at the time when we sold him. A lot of the players came out and were against it. The fact that Sullivan was saying, "Oh no, we had to sell him because we had too many wingers," and then we bought in another winger.
Yeah, not a striker.
Yeah, it was. I don't really see there being a net benefit. If you ask me, would I swap them back? I don't know, probably not.
No, I don't.
But I think it was a mistake
at the time.
At the time, I don't see any real benefit to it, to be honest.
Right, let's run through these comments and wrap it up. I think people are easy to blast Benrahma, but when he was at the AFCON, people was crying for him to get back. Benrahma is an easy scapegoat as per usual.
Well, you see it all the time now, innit? As soon as players are out and they're not playing, they're the best player in the world.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. Well, easy question, mate. It's West Ham. Which club was closest to you growing up? West Ham. I literally lived, with a stone throw of the Barking Road, and Paul obviously lived in North Woolwich. Are they still the closest? Was West Ham still the closest?
Oh, yeah. North Woolwich, Silvertown. Literally spent my entire teenage years in Canning Town. Absolutely. I don't think.
Yeah.
I suppose that where would be close to Charlton, maybe.
Maybe Charlton, yeah. Maybe Charlton, yeah.
But I don't think that would be closer than West Ham to North Woolwich.
With Deck's statement saying he wants to win everything and knowing he's past loyalty with Ireland and England, etc., do you think he will stay going this summer? I think he will go. I do. Unless we get Champions League football, I think he's gone. Mm-hmm. Dan Bowden, John Pansel, 14, obviously. Couple more. Name 4 of our under 23s in order of readiness that you think should be brought through to play in the first team. Okaflex, Ashby, Alessi, and then obviously it's got to be probably Sonny Perkins because he has actually played a couple of games now.
Yeah, I would agree with that list. Absolutely. It's such a weird thing that Okaflex hasn't been around the team more. It really is.
Good question for you, mate.
Yeah, I would, yeah. And what? And what? Say something.
Whatever you spent on getting a shirt with Yarmolenko on the back is worth more than Travis. No, probably right. You're probably right, mate.
Every time, do you know what? I pull it out sometimes, and every time I wear it, I think, have a good game, mate. Come on, I'm wearing this shirt for you. Yeah. Have a good game. Come on, and he never does.
Jake says hi. For any of you interested, I'll be on Jake's show at 3:15. Building up to the Leicester game. He has kindly invited me onto his show, so I will be joining him. If you want to see more of me, the Mark Noble lookalike, that's really cool. My closest is Southend. Just any more questions? Just very, very quickly. One more question. Here you go. Last question. Can you honestly see Rice leaving the same season as Mark Noble? I just can't see it. I think 2023 is the summer when he will leave with a 1-year extension before extension. What do you think?
I think he would.
I think he goes. I think he goes, and I'm gutted, but I do think he goes, mate. What about you?
I think with Mark, I think Mark's a huge thing for Rice. I think he's been a really big mentor to him, and I think Mark leaving is another reason for him
going.
To go. I'm sure everybody saw the program on the Sky Sports thing with Gary Neville. Brilliant, really good. Well worth watching if anyone hasn't seen it. Rice comes across so well. He really does. He's got such a good head on his shoulders. Really good, and it'll be devastating when he leaves. But watching that interview, there was no love for West Ham. There weren't. That might annoy people, but it just weren't there. I think he likes the club. I got nothing from him that says he loves the club and he'll stay for the love of the club. He's too ambitious for that. He's not a West Ham kid.
I think he respects West Ham.
Yeah,
much absolutely. Like Joe Cole. He respects West Ham and respects him for picking him up and developing him into the player he is today. But listen, he's sort of player. We are saying, mate, he's a world-class player. Their mentality is they're winners, mate. And, there's only so long that you can sit and, not be a winner or not see progress. And
absolutely,
that's nothing against him, not liking West Ham. I bet he would think nothing more to do it at West Ham, mate. I bet he would love, and I always say it on here, mate, winning an FA Cup or winning a Europa League at West Ham will mean more to him than going on and winning Premier Leagues at other clubs in the future. But I don't think it's our own fault. It's the club's fault for not doing it.
I agree, mate. I agree. And I don't think he doesn't like West Ham. Obviously, I think he does like West Ham. I think he does like West Ham a lot. Like I said, I think he's got a lot of respect.
But it's not love that will keep him, like Noble. But Noble's not a world-class player. But...
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's not going to stay for the love of the club. He's ambitious. He wants to win everything, as he should. as he should. And when he does go, no ill feeling at all. I wish him well, and I really do. I hope he goes on and has a fantastic career. I'm sure he will.
Yeah, and I don't think you'll get, the Frank Lampard out of him, where he's slagging the club off, and Rio's an absolute twat. I can't stand Rio at all. But that is a really good interview, the Rio and Mark Noble one, if you haven't seen that. If we invest heavily in the summer, Rice may just stay. If we see, but we're not going to invest, mate. I'd love to say, I would love to have your optimism and, be sitting here in, 6-7 months' time saying, wow, we've bought bloody Rafinha, we've bought Phillips, we've bought a lovely striker as well. Ain't going to happen, mate. It's not going to happen. We should try and keep him to after the World Cup. His price. Yeah, I would love to see us do it one more year. And at the end of the day, we are in the pole position. We have his contract at the end of the day. And I don't think he's the sort of player that will refuse to play like a Dimitri Payet. I don't think you'd get that out of him. Moyes has asked Rice to stand by as centre-back due to injuries. What do you guys think? He'd do a good job there, but you would lose his midfield impact. But I'm not saying, mate, I think you could play him anywhere. I think you could play him striker and he'd still do a good job up there. His technique and power is just that sort of player. He's becoming real solid centre.
And again, that is a sign of a truly world-class player. You could they could play anywhere.
And get an 8 out of 10 performance, up there. Luke, what school did you attend? Me and Paul both attended Cumberland in East London. In our day, a really, really bad school. But nowadays, I believe kids are going to Oxford and bloody, getting American scholarships from that school. So
fair play, mate. Yeah, Cumberland's not even there anymore, is it?
No, it's
the one that we went to anyway.
Oh, Woodside, yeah. It's Rokeby now. Our old school is Rokeby now. Do you think Zouma was happy with the backing of Brady? I'll let Paul answer that. He loves Cowan.
Two absolute massive scumbags there in the same sentence. Brilliant, yeah. No, I don't know.
Oh yeah, well, that's another good thing. Just very quick, mate. I hope we don't use Kroll then in the middle. Obviously, Kroll, apparently Moyes has come out, mate, and said that he won't be there in the summer. It just hasn't worked out, has it? Just not good enough.
Then why is he? Why
put him on the bench? There? Why even put him on the bench then?
I don't understand why we're still paying his wage. Surely we can terminate the loan.
Surely.
That makes no sense. Is
that not the club that Kretinsky owns? Is that not the other club that Kretinsky owns as well?
Where did we get him from?
Any Prague? Is he not Slavia Prague?
I'm not
Moscow,
sure.
Or is he smart at Moscow? Or I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
But no, I don't know why we're still paying his wage. I don't know why he's still at the club. If he's not good enough, he's not going to play. We're not going to keep him. Why is he still there?
Yeah. Final thing then, mate. Prediction for today, to end the show. If I have to put a gun to your head, what do you think is going to happen today?
2-1 win.
Yeah, I said 2-1 in my preview. I said 2-1. I think if we can start well and if we get a goal, it might get a bit shaky. Our set pieces, as long as we don't do the bloody short set pieces, I think we'll have a really good chance of winning today. Thank you for all the questions, guys. I'm sorry that we're not going to answer there's a couple more in there, but we are going to wrap it up now. We have gone for an hour today. Me and Paul will be back next week. I'll be back with some live shows in the week because obviously I'm off for a week now and building up to the Newcastle game. Enjoy the game today, guys. Obviously, Wolves and Tottenham are about to kick off in about 45 minutes. Until next time, guys, come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.